Welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic.
And your
Woo! And we want to punch Jim Cornette in the face repeatedly until he bleeds because he's stupid.
I don't know you guys personally.
Hot tag.
Okay, I got you. I'm coming in hot. You know, I'm gonna hit that Big E spear.
We'll see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
All right. I know what you're thinking. Didn't we just do TNA like yesterday? Okay. We did. But now it's Tuesday again, and I can finally watch TNA on Pop. So we just gonna do TNA tonight too. And then it took me forever to make the video public too, because you know the struggle bus is for real for me on this TNA stuff. But welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic, and we are reviewing the May 10th edition of TNA. For this week, I don't know what it was about this show, but it was just missing something for me. Maybe it was because last week's show was so good, in my opinion. So this week's show was it was good, but it was still just wasn't as good. So I felt like it was missing something. Not really sure, but let's jump into the promos and video packages and such. We started off with a Jeff Hardy promo. I don't know who did this man's face paint tonight, but they need to be fired forever. They need to leave. Whoever did Jeff Hardy's face paint needs to leave and never come back in any sort of creative capacity. He was interrupted by the Decay. They said Jeff Hardy is a charismatic guy, and they would like for him to join the family. And then apparently someone has paid the Decay to attack Jeff Hardy last week. Hardy attacks the Decay before they can attack him. Then Storm comes out to even the odds. Any thoughts on the Jeff Hardy promo? I guess you're still working with your lower third.
Is your camera off? Because I can't see you.
It's not.
All right, then I hope they can see you because I can't see you. But first of all, Jeff Hardy does his own face paint during his entrance. That's his new thing. He used to take time on it and do cool designs and stuff. Now he just puts paint on his hands, rubs it on his face, gets it all over fans. It's cool. He doesn't care that a fan might have an allergic reaction to something in it. It's cool. He doesn't care. I was confused with this at first, but as the show went on and as we kind of learned a little bit more about what's going on, it's getting a little bit more intriguing. I'm 99% sure I know who's behind their attack and who paid them. I think we all kind of know who it is, but they're trying to build up the suspense with that. It would be nice if it was like somebody else and it was a surprise, like if they swerved us somehow. But we know who it's going to be. But I like what they're doing with this.
Yeah, I agree. Do you feel like, I don't know if you were here when I was talking about this, but do you feel like this show was missing something tonight? Like, I don't know if it was because last week's show was really good to me, but I feel like this show was missing something. I don't know what it was. It was something about it that just was off.
I think it was because you still didn't watch it live. You still watched it a little bit late, even though you had to freaking date it. But I think part of it was like we're doing it on the same day. Like we usually watch it like the next day, which is kind of weird. But yeah, there was something just not right. Like I don't know what it was. Like segments too, like we'll get to it, but the segment with at the concert or whatever, with Billy Corgan, which was like, okay, like I get that he's a musician, I get that, but why are we randomly having a segment at a backstage area of like a concert? Like it didn't seem like it was going anywhere. And I felt like a bunch of the segments we had tonight were kind of just filler. It felt like a little bit, but it did feel like there was something missing, but I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, definitely. All right, then. I'm gonna skip this next segment because it's gonna give away never mind. I'm just gonna do it. Jeff Hardy not happy that someone is impersonating Willow. Willow appeared in one of the matches, and Jeff Hardy is not happy about it. Any thoughts on impersonation of Willow? And was it you? What were you impersonating Willow?
It wasn't me. It was not me. Again, I'm pretty sure this is the person who's paying the decay. I hope they, like I said, I hope they do a swerve and it's somebody else. Because I think that would be a little bit more, surprising, and it would. I mean, obviously, we want to see Matt Hardy back, and I'm pretty sure it's Matt Hardy and probably the Hardy brand, or somebody with Matt Hardy. But
I mean, who could it be though? If you think about it, because we saw Spud in like living color and in person and everything. So who else could it be? Because like I'm thinking that like because I'm taking Spud out of the equation and I'm taking Tyrus out of the equation because if it was Tyrus, we would obviously know.
yeah,
it was Maxwell. That's what it was. I could tell.
I don't think it was Maxwell. I think he's a little bit shorter than the Willows that we got. But yeah, I mean, obviously it wasn't Rockstar Spud. For one, we saw him in a match later on, and the three Willows were generally the same height. That would have kind of been a dead giveaway, just because Rockstar Spud is so much shorter than Matt Hardy, and obviously Tyrus is a lot bigger than Matt Hardy. So I am kind of curious to see who it is.
I'm wondering. I don't know what you're thinking about this, but I'm wondering, is this going to be a way to debut a new? I know they signed who was a Sylvester Lefort and Marcus Louis, so I wonder is this going to be a way to throw them into TNA? Debut was what I was about to say. Debut them officially.
Yes, they're going to debut them as the Willows, and Marcus Louis is still not going to have any hair. Because when you go bald in wrestling, you never grow the hair back. Just look at Kurt Angle.
Hey, Kurt Angle did grow his hair back a little bit one time. That one time when he was doing that movie, he had that weird beard, had that weird beard and like a little hair on his head. I remember. He was feuding with Desmond Wolfer right afterwards, I think, or right. It was right after that feud or something.
I do not recall him in a movie, but I'll have to look that up.
See, I don't recall him in the movie, but I remember they said he was starring in a movie or something. I don't know. I have to look it up too, but I don't remember exactly what movie it was, nor did I watch it. But anyway,
was it one of those things where like WWE or TNA says one of their superstars is starring in a movie and it's like an extra or something?
Probably. While we're on the point of these Willows, we might as well talk about them. Of course, I lost like some of my notes here at the end, but Jeff Hardy was looking for the Willows, and he finally found one of the Willows. He beats him down, and then another Willow comes in and distracts him, and then he gets hit with a chair by I think the person who was the original Willow, and then a third Willow appears, and it was like, wait, what? So now we're kind of confused on how is there three Willows? There was only one before. But anyway, any thoughts on that segment before we move on to other non-Willow business?
I liked it. There was a weird part where there was a ladder behind them, and the ladder started to like move like it was falling, and then somehow magically it stood back up. I was like, okay, is somebody holding that ladder? But I don't know if you noticed that, but I did. I noticed weird things apparently. But I like that that they're doing the 3 Willow thing. Like it kind of plays more games with Jeff Hardy's head in a way. I didn't like that original Willow, which looked like Jeff Hardy's Willow, and then the second Willow had kind of a gold mask, which I liked that they kind of differentiated it a little bit. But then the third one looked like come on, you couldn't get like a third color, like you couldn't change it up a little bit. But I'm excited to see, like I said, what they do with this. Hopefully they do something good with it, and it it builds up enough, but it doesn't like drag on like certain storylines that TNA has done in the past that were of biker relation, Bully Ray, and lasted 3 years, or it seemed like.
Alrighty.
It was aces and eights.
Next we got Galloway, kind of waiting, calling out Lashley a little bit. Lashley comes out and he asks him, do you respect me or are you afraid of me? Lashley says to Galloway. Lashley would also mention that he's the only real fighter around here, which I thought was kind of a funny little jab. When you think about the whole MMA thing, kind of just throwing that out there, I guess. I just kind of caught it as like it was a little MMA jab. But anyway, Galloway said he wants to fight right now, but Lashley's like, nah, bro. Let's just give it a week. Let's just give it a week. This is something that's got to build. Lashley has a wrestling mind, though. I'll give it to him. He has a wrestling mind. He knows that this match has to build. We can't have EY versus Samoa Joe set up in the same night and on the same. Oh, we're not talking about NXT. Anyway, I'm just saying. Lashley got the mind of a wrestler, but anyway. And then Eli Drake would come out, and he would basically kind of continue the rivalry between him and Drew Galloway, basically setting up a world title match because Galloway still wanted to fight, and Eli Drake was like the opportunistic Eli Drake was like, this is my opportunity. So we got a world title match right after this segment. Any thoughts on Galloway, Lashley, Eli Drake, any of those things?
I like that Eli Drake kind of got a title match, which was kind of random and out of nowhere. It feels like they're actually really trying to push him to maybe be in that main event spot in the future. I feel like they're gonna kind of keep him in that. I almost said television title, the King of the Mountain title picture for a while before they build him up to the sort of main event. But it was a good kind of teaser a little bit that he might win the title because the match was pretty good and there was he could possibly win the title. But I just like what they're doing with him.
Alrighty. So the next segment we have is Maria. I skipped the whole freaking sightseeing with Mike Bennett and Maria. So let me go back up to that. The whole concert thing, which was kind of weird. But I think it's kind of, when you think about the overall meaning of it, I know it seems weird. It's kind of a unique segment, but I think it kind of shows how much pull that Maria is trying to have on the authority figures, I guess is where they're trying to go with this. Any thoughts on the concert? What did you like the singing? Did you enjoy it?
I mean, I did. I just feel like TNA is trying to, they get somebody like famous and they try to to remind us like every 12 seconds, like, hey, did you remember he was in a band? Do you remember Smashing Pumpkins? Do you remember it? Remember it? He's working for us now. Do you remember it? Just, I don't, I get what they're doing with it, trying to, Maria's trying to get that pull, kind of trying to use her power, I guess, now that she has. But I felt like they could have done it in more of a capacity because it was just weird. I I feel like whenever you try to do that music wrestling crossover, I mean, I know WWE built up, their company in the 80s and in the 90s with that kind of crossover thing, but there's still that weird kind of awkwardness to it, just because wrestlers generally aren't musicians, and musicians generally aren't getting into the wrestling business. Obviously there are exceptions. Chris Jericho has had a band for years. Jeff Hardy has been in a band. I felt like they could have done that, in a backstage segment. I don't think they needed to, constantly, remind us that, Billy Corgan works for TNA now, and he was, famous for being in a band and stuff like that.
I mean,
I
I
don't
haven't
know.
heard him say anything about it like in a while. Like obviously they said that when they first got him, but like, and I think Dixie Carter says it every once in a while or something when she's in the ring. But I haven't really heard him mention it a lot. I just thought it was kind of something that was different. Um, you know, I guess because I mean we do think of these guys as like big money Matt, no, big money stars. So I guess it wouldn't be surprising that they would be at a concert. I don't know. I don't know if they have that much free time though. But um, let's continue though. Let's get to the Maria would set up a knockouts title match. Kind of having Sienna keep watch, kind of keeping the whole Sienna thing going. Good consistency. I like it. Um, and then EC3 would end up cutting a promo with Mike Bennett, and it would set up a six-sided steel match against one of his demons to kind of get him back in the picture to fight Mike Bennett. Any thoughts on those two things? They were both kind of short, so I just threw them together.
Yeah, not really. They were just really short. Yeah.
All right, I think the last segment we had was Al Snow and his wrestling academy, which I actually think is like the TNA like performance center type thing. They're kind of developmental, kind of developing wrestlers type of a thing. Um, so that dreams aren't really what make you a wrestler. Just because you have a dream doesn't mean you can be a wrestler, which I kind of liked. I think TNA does a good job of appealing to what the fans really think, because like they always appeal to the whole football player thing and the whole like you're supposed to earn your stripes type of a thing, which I actually kind of like. I as uninterested as I am to a certain degree with this storyline with Al Snow. I think them making it kind of more realistic with the Wrestling Academy thing was actually kind of cool. Any thoughts on Al Snow or a potential performance center thingy for TNA?
It felt awkward because he's just randomly cutting a promo in the middle of a ring where they're training, and I'm like, okay, have one of your students, do something in this promo, or like they're just gonna randomly be there. I don't know. It just felt weird to me. So do you like, after you retire, do you automatically get a wrestling school? Is that like how that goes? Like Al Snow has a wrestling school, the Dudleys have a wrestling school.
The Boogie Woogie Man has one. Ricky Morton has. Oh, sorry, we weren't talking about that old.
I mean, they probably, probably, a Santino just got one.
They definitely do. They invited me. I remember the Boogie Woogie Man was like, "You should come to my wrestling school." I was like, "I didn't. I wasn't trying to be but and then who was it? It was like the announcer for Big Time Wrestling was like, "Oh, so you wanna be a wrestler?" I was like, "No, I want to do what you do. I want to be an announcer, or I want to like talk." He was like, "Okay, you can go to Ricky Morton's wrestling school, though." I'm like, "All right, I'll think about it." But anyway, um, let's get into the matches. I think that was the last one. I lost some of my notes at the end because my computer restarted itself because it hates me. But anyway, we got James Storm and Jeff Hardy versus the Decay for the tag team titles.
Did
This
we
is a
get
pretty good.
the other segment with Mike Bennett?
Like I said, I might have missed. It might be in my notes that aren't saved. Which one specifically was that one?
Mike Bennett and EC3.
Yeah, we talked about it because you was like, I don't have anything to say because they were both pretty short.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I was not paying attention to you at that time. I apologize.
Do you have anything to say about it now?
No, I was just I like, you know, them doing promos together. You know, they work well off of each other. There wasn't too much else to say about it, but I do like kind of the chemistry that they have. You know, how they kind of play off of each other.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Alrighty, so let's get into the matches. James Storm and Jeff Hardy, which I was kind of confused at first about this versus Decay for the tag team titles, but then I was like, okay, yeah, the Decay attacked him last week. I remember. Hi, I see. But anyway, this match is going pretty well. Jeff Hardy would go up top probably for a Swanton Bomb, I'm thinking. But then the lights turn out and Willow appears at the top of the ramp. He gets hit with some mist and then hit with the Black Hole Slam, and the Decay keep the titles. Any thoughts on the tag team title match, the appearing of Willow and James Storm? He was there.
I mean, it was a good match. It is the only person who, you know, has himself choke slammed onto his opponent, which is, I mean, if it works, it works. So, I mean, keep doing it, but I mean, I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying. I was kind of confused with this match because I was, you know, Beer Money lost the tag team titles. So since both members of Beer Money are not with the company anymore, wouldn't that in a way nullify their rematch because it's not the same team? Or can you just like pick another tag team partner? Is that how this works?
Nah, bro. James Storm said I can do what I want. I've been in NXT for a day. I can do what I want.
I mean, okay, you know, we got to hear, you know, a little bit of a promo from the Decay, you know, because DJ be skipping over, you know, promos and stuff. You know, we got to hear them talk again. You know, we got to Abyss let us know that he is beautiful, which was kind of random and it came out of nowhere. He was like talking about something else, and then all of a sudden, I'm beautiful. I'm like, oh, okay.
Because he is. He's got to let the world know, Casey. Like you acting like it's a surprise.
He is, you know, he is, but like, there's a time and place for telling us. Like, and I like his new face paint. I like it. I'm, you know, it's grown on me. But yeah, I liked the segment tonight. There was another part that was weird, but I can't think of what it was. I'll think of it at some point.
All right. Next we have, I think it was Drew Galloway versus Eli Drake, I think, for the TNA World title. Shout out to Eli Drake for that Kurt Angle impression, getting up to the top with that belly to belly. I see you, Eli, with that athleticism. I see you. But Eli Drake, as the match progressed near the end, would try to use the briefcase to get that win, but he gets caught with the Claymore and Galloway retains. I like that they kind of keep the old feuds going within the new feuds. I definitely kind of like that. I'm liking what they're doing with Eli Drake. I think they're doing a good job promoting him to win every title ever. You know, he's gonna take. Well, he's not because it's my anyway. I like that you know they're promoting him really well. I think with this whole you know King of the Mountain briefcase thing. I think it's really building him as a legitimate star. But any thoughts on Drew Galloway versus Eli Drake?
again, I'm happy that they gave Eli Drake the title match tonight. It's something that you wouldn't see in WWE. You don't just a, a guy like him wouldn't necessarily just get a title shot out of nowhere in WWE, unfortunately. But it was a fun match, and like I said, there was points where he could have won the title, because unlike WWE, you can they switch the title on Impact sometimes. It's not just on pay-per-views or uh, stuff like that. We have seen title changes on just regular Impact. So, Impact is one of those things where you can watch a title match, a world title match, and really be into it and, be excited about possibly, the title changing. Whereas, when we have WWE championship matches on like SmackDown or Raw, that the champion is going to retain. So it was fun to see him kind of get that little bit of a push.
Alrighty. The next match is Gail Kim versus Jade for the TNA Knockouts title of the world and Florida. I definitely I thought this match got off to a good start. I think they're just kind of teasing us with this one. It seems like maybe they're just kind of teasing us a little bit with what's going on with this whole thing. I'm wondering what they're gonna do with Jade. At least with Sienna, we're getting somewhat of a storyline in the Knockouts division, which I like. We don't necessarily know what's gonna happen or where it's gonna go, but at least we got something to keep us interested, which is nice. So Sienna, she was kind of the enforcer, kind of making sure they actually fight. Interrupts the match and beats down Jade. I can't remember if she beat down Gail Kim or not. I just remember her beating down Jade and throwing her into the steps again because she's the champ, so she want to take that. She want to take that. But anyway, any thoughts on the Knockouts title match, Sienna?
This was a segment of the show where I had sent DJ, ignored me.
That's because I was behind. I didn't want you to spoil me on anything.
But there was a segment earlier where basically this match was set up by Maria, and I was like, on the Asians. Why is she picking on the two Asians? Why is that? Is she racist? Is this a race thing? But I felt like this could have been a good match if they didn't do the Sienna attacking Jade and Gail Kim midway through the match. I felt like this could have been a good match. Obviously they're trying to build Sienna as the new monster in the knockouts division, I guess. I don't know if I like the way they're going with her. She doesn't. I don't know, something like I like her, but something about her doesn't like I don't feel like she fits that role, kind of like Awesome Kong did, where she's kind of that kind of heel. She doesn't that to me. But then again, I haven't seen much of her previously, so I don't know. It to me it just doesn't feel right.
Alrighty. I think the next match we had was Al Snow versus Mahabali Shero. Al Snow trying to use his fair share of foreign objects. He had I think it was a thermometer. I think I'm not sure, but it looked like a thermometer that I stick under my tongue to take my temperature. I'm just saying, and he had a cover on it. He ain't even ruthless. He ain't even got that ruthless aggression. Al, have you lost? Anyway, I don't know why he still had the cover on. He got it. Come on, Al, you gotta be rude. Anyway, but tries to use that, and he catches him right in the neck, and I like how he kind of hit it hit it in his mouth a little bit, or maybe he hit it, put it back in the trunks when Earl wasn't looking. I definitely like the savvy, the veteran savvy, but then he tries to go for the, I guess, brass taped, studded some kind of knuckles that he put on his hands, and he tried to hit him with that, but Grado gets that distraction because the broken arm. It's slightly broken now. He's getting better. And then he gets hit with the sky high for the win by Mahabali Shera. Any thoughts on Mahabali Shera? More serious now. I kind of like it.
I mean,
Rabbit would approve.
I know that Al Snow is trying to bring back that old school. You got to earn your spot. Have to use like the heel tactics from like the 50s. I mean, come on now. Can you update these heel tactics a little bit? I mean, come on. This match though, I like what they're kind of doing with this. I feel like it's maybe trying to, I guess, train Mahabali Shera a little bit more, but out like on the show, which is kind of cool. Because obviously, Al Snow is a trainer. Mahabali might need some more, just work in the ring. Which
he doesn't. He's a monster.
Anyway, I was confused though when Naito came out, and I was like, how did his broken arm, that fast? That mean,
see,
he came back.
See, it could have been a hairline fracture, though. I'm just saying.
I don't know. They said broken. They was like it was devastating. I don't know. He came back faster than John Cena. And not even like a cast, not even like a soft cast, nothing. All right, I see you. I see you. He's a monster. I'm just saying.
Grado's tough, man. He came from those gritty streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty. I think the next match is the main event, which I'm gonna give to Casey because my notes they just went away. EC3 versus Mystery Man in the 6 Sides of Steel. Casey.
Yes, EC3. He's trying to work his way back up to get that rematch. He wants that rematch with Mike Bennett. Work for it. And the first opponent that he gets, that he has to fight through, and I don't know if he can. I did not know if he could, because this was a tough opponent. He had to face Rockstar Spud in 6 Sides of Steel. I thought this was a pretty good match. For what I was expecting. I kind of expected, EC3 to just completely destroy Rockstar Spud, which he kind of did, but it wasn't as ruthless as I thought it was going to be. Where they were, Spud was going to climb out of the 6 Sides of Steel to win, and that EC3 I forgot what they said. They said that he kind of power bombed him over or something. That he didn't. Rockstar Spud just fell. Like if you watch it back, he just fell. But I don't know. I think this was one of the matches that felt like there was something missing. Like, did a bunch of interference. I expected a bunch of ninjas to come from the ceiling or something. Not necessarily ninjas, but I expected something. I mean, Mike Bennett is trying to keep EC3 from getting that rematch. I just felt like something was missing from this match. Since your notes deleted.
Did unfortunately, but this is why you should save every minute of every moment of every day that you're doing anything. But I definitely I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. The little press, I guess they call it a press slam from the
that's
yeah. I liked it. I'm like really into like gorilla presses and press slams from high areas now, thanks to Ryback. Thanks, appreciate it, big guy. But anyway, I don't know. I thought it was a good match. It was definitely one of those matches where Rockstar Spud did get dominated, but he did kind of have his fight and his weird facial expressions at times. Spud came close to winning like a lot though, which was a nice touch. But I definitely like this. I like this match. I'm wondering who the next demon, I guess you could say. It's gonna be Kane. It's gonna be Kane, guys. Come on, let's be honest. The next demon. But anyway, it's either gonna be Kane or Triple H because I get it. I understand because Triple H fired him and Kane's just the demon. So I think it could happen. I don't know how you feel about that, Casey, but I think it could happen.
No.
But no, I tried. But anyway, I don't know if you caught. I caught this and I laughed a little bit. I don't know if you caught in Lashley's promo earlier. He said "believe that," and I laughed a lot. I laughed a lot, and I tweeted it on the Twitter because I was like that. For some reason, that was just funny to me. But anyway, if you like TNA, make sure you give us a like if you like the review. If you have something to say it. Follow us on Twitter. It's down. It's so opposite. It's weird.
I know what the weird part of the Jeff Hardy decay segment was. Out of nowhere, Jeff Hardy goes, "I don't sell out, I sell in." And I was like, what does that have to do with anything? I was so confused.
I don't know. It's Jeff Hardy, man. You know, it could have been worse. He could have tried to start a chant. But anyway, last week after he got attacked, I was like, so Hardy's revenge? Hardy's revenge. Let's do it. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a comment, give us a like, hit that subscribe button or smash it, as Justin would say. And we will see you guys on the next one, which is going to be a 6-pack coming up real soon.
Real soon.
Real soon.